I can hear my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that
Hey-o!
Saturday Night Live sketch. What's up?
That sketch wasn't that funny.
It's because you don't know that song.
It was an actual song?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyway, if you didn't watch the Saturday Night Live sketch this week about the jurors with their stomachs growling, watch it. It's worth it.
Unless
What's
you're
up?
like me and it's confusing.
That's okay. I'm glad you didn't get all those jokes. Scott's on. What's up? My name's James.
I'm Evie.
This is Living for Crits. And we are in full DCC regalia here.
You're not wearing a DCC shirt.
This is a DCC. This is
I'm
an
so
official
fly, I never land.
DCC Disney shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got your DCC hoodie on. You gonna show off the hoodie?
I've seen it before, I think.
Okay. Some folks may not know that they can get that hoodie. Is the hoodie still out? Can you still buy that?
I think so.
These hats aren't for sale no more. So
some guy at Gen Con tried to he's like, can I give you this much money for your hat? And I'm like, nope.
can't try. Greg's on. What's up? Sorry about last week. If you tuned in last week, we had put a notification on Twitter that we would not be here last week. Not this week. We're here this week.
We are here this week. We're here right now.
We put a notification on Twitter because it was a busy weekend, and we had to skip a night. So I apologize, and we're back this week. We'll be back next week, and we're just gonna roll. It's a big night tonight. Got some fun stuff ahead of us. So I will. Got some comments already. Scott's got the DCC RPG hat at Gen Con, but not the ones we have. Yeah, there's the DCC at Cooper has it. It just says DCC RPG across the top. I greatly prefer this model. I'd really like one that was like not just a trucker hat, but a full hat.
What?
Like it has the whole thing is sealed.
This is sealed.
No, not really. It gets a lot of air through it.
The mesh?
Yeah, this is like the trucker cap. I want a non-trucker cap version, but with this logo. Just wishful desires here for something from Goodman Games. Hopefully we can put something together. Anyway, all right. Well, let's just get rolling here and talking about some gaming news. We actually have some gaming news, like today at Seventh Dimension Games in Jenkintown, PA, where Judge Evie wasn't there. I had a really good game of An Unexpected Wedding with the Delaware Valley Savages, which is shameless self-promotion, an adventure I wrote for Savage Worlds, and for because of the themes that I wanted to go with this week, I ran it in the Lankhmar setting. We're talking Lankhmar tonight, if you didn't know that already, okay? One of the cool things this adventure, again, self-plug, is that you can run it with any setting. I've run it with Deadlands 3 times, the last Parsec Iron Gate once, and this was the first time with fantasy characters, and I used Richard Wilcox's fantasy archetypes from the swag program. So if you go on and you look up fantasy archetypes for Savage Worlds, you will find a really cool collection of character sheets to go with.
Yeah,
and
you
to
will.
print.
Find the coolest character sheets.
It sounds like just a bolted on comment, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyway, it was a good time. We are excited for PAX Unplugged, which will be a big Savage Worlds and DCC event for us now that I'm putting together some off the books DCC action. So if you are going to PAX Unplugged, let me know. At I live for Crits on Twitter is the best way to get a hold of me if we're not like Facebook friends or something. So in even bigger DCC RPG news, which is super exciting, we are attempting to kick off another grown-up campaign, which is a campaign in our house where adults can play. And we had some East Texas University going last year. We had a really good time with that. We'll probably pick that up again in the future. But with all of I have a ton of Dwarven Forge stuff coming. If you didn't know that,
when is it coming? Because it said
soon.
June. It said June.
Soon.
But it's not June anymore.
I know, it's soon. I kickstarted the Caverns Deep stuff like a year and 4 months ago, and I guess the giant mountain of stuff is coming soon. I already have some of the Dungeons of Doom stuff, but I wanted to run a campaign this fall, winter, and spring that would let me really use the heck out of the Dwarven Forge stuff. What was that look for?
Nothing.
What are you looking at?
Myself.
And so to do that, I thought I would run a new DCC campaign, but to make it kind of gritty, I thought, because I didn't give you an option really, we would use DCC Lankhmar, because...
Oh, I thought you were going to actually add, like, gritty in.
No. DCC Lankhmar, kid.
This is bothering me. Wait.
What's bothering you?
Okay, so, like, you see how it's like this?
Yeah?
It's upside down.
All right. I can fix it later.
Fix it right now.
I'm going to fix it later.
Fix it right now. So, guys,
because Judge Evie doesn't know what Lankhmar is pretty much.
I sold it.
You sold a lot of it. I made her read Lankhmar today, but I made you read this one. You can show this off.
Really freaking confusing, though.
What's so confusing? Show the guest what you read.
I read the first chapter, whatever this is.
It was Ill Met in Lankhmar. It's the graphic novel version, and this is by Howard Chaykin, Mike Mignola, and Al Williamson. And I believe Ill Met in Lankhmar. I'm fairly certain that one was done by Mike Mignola. I think. Pretty sure.
It was so basic. It was confusing.
Oh, it was all of them really. They all did it together. But Mike Mignola, if you don't know, is the guy that does Hellboy. What was so basic about it? Tell our viewers about Lankhmar.
Wait, give me this. I need to like look through this because I don't remember much of it.
What are the two main characters' names?
Flap, whatever his name is.
No, just complete the name.
How do you say his name?
Try.
I gotta find it. Wait. This Slavaz, that guy,
That's
right?
the bad guy.
Oh.
So how do you say that guy with the F name's name? Say it.
Yeah, it's this guy, right?
Yeah, say it.
Yeah. Fafford. Fafford?
That's really good. Good go with that one. How about the next name?
Is that the guy's name?
That's the next guy. How did you read the first story and not know?
I was
all right, so this is Fafford, and which one's this?
That's the gray Mouser.
All right, which one's which? Which
This
one's
is
Fafford?
Fafford, and this is the gray guy.
The Gray Mouser?
Mm-hmm.
And did you like the story?
I mean...
You didn't like the story.
Really
She liked the story. She is interesting. She could care less.
Judge
Evie doesn't read.
I'm reading a book right now.
What are you reading?
I'm reading 5 Feet Apart.
What's that about?
Two people that are in love with each other, but they both have CF, so they have to be like 6 feet apart. But
what is
like,
CF?
Some disease. So and they have to be like, they're like, no, we have to be like
cystic fibrosis.
Yes.
Is it?
I think. I don't know. They just say CF. Okay, so then they're like in the hospital and they're like, oh my god, we want to be in love with each other, and they're like, you can't do that because you'll both die.
Wait,
and
important question. Is this a DCC related book?
No, but
Let's keep
anyway,
going. All right.
I'm reading that book and I want to watch the movie because it's got Cole Sprouse in it. But.
Well, on tonight's show for Living for Crits, since Judge Evie here only read, I can't even get her to read the actual book, I'm guessing. We are going to talk about DCC Lankhmar, and we are going to, on the air, make Judge Evie's DCC Lankhmar character, as she does get the option to play in the grown-up campaigns in our house.
I am an adult.
Yes.
Oh my god, wait. Really? I'm an adult? You said
no,
yes to
you're
that?
not.
No, I am.
So anyway, let's move on to Judge Evie presides, and then we'll go into the character creation stuff.
Okay.
All right.
A or B, Dad?
Read the first question first.
Oh man, I don't know who this is from. My screenshot, I think. Oh, it says Judge Sean.
Judge Sean, go ahead and read it.
So this is a shout out, but I don't know because it was from 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So Another Aussie shout out for DCC at D6 Games in Rochester, Minnesota.
Well, we should put that below. That
Minnesota?
really is that's something that's for below. That's for like the road crew shoutouts.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So Monday nights, Rochester, just a little early. Again, Monday nights, Rochester, Minnesota at
6
D6
p.m.
Games. Okay, 6 p.m.
Okay. Questions. What is your favorite moment in a DCC game? The ending.
What? But
Like the final battle.
of which I think he wants to know which one.
No, he just said.
What is your favorite moment? Not moments.
No.
Like, what is your favorite moment?
In a DCC game.
Yeah, the one
The
thing that's your
final battle.
favorite thing. But which one? Like, what was your favorite final battle?
He didn't say that.
Yeah, he said, what's your favorite moment? Not like when in the adventure. So you're saying
No,
that...
what is your favorite moment in a DCC game?
I think he means... Alright, since it's the end, which I guess means you get to leave the table and read your iPhone, is that why?
No, because then everyone's like, oh my god, we gotta spend this much luck. And they're like, no, because there's no time. We're like, well, who cares if we die? It's the end. Okay. Don't ask questions.
My favorite moment in a DCC game, I think ever, was when we were running our home campaign of it back in Pittsburgh, and you guys kept going back over and over into the what was it called? There was the
Dungeon place.
the Emerald Enchanter adventure where you guys kept going in and leaving and coming back. And my favorite moment was when, it was stocked with Grimtooth's traps, like the third time you went in, because just realizing I'd have to torture you out all again for like the third time was fun. I really enjoyed that, just because I got to like kind of pull the Grimtooth stuff in, and it was kind of funny and zany to have a shipping like receipt from Grimtooth to the Emerald Enchanter. It was a good time.
What is the most ridiculous?
Most ridiculous moment?
Mm-hmm.
Can you answer that one?
I'm thinking. You say yours first.
Had a ridiculous moment a couple weeks ago at Save Against Fear where when the characters were fleeing in a reverse Sailors on a Starless Sea, I had the Beastmen were in the process of unionizing, and the player characters used ventriloquism to start a labor dispute and force everyone on strike.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That was good.
That was great.
I like that one. How about you?
When the freaking giant Morty skull came and literally attacked us.
You
Because
mean
we were all best friends with Morty.
No.
Yeah, we were all best friends with this skull.
You are not best friends with Morty.
Okay, I was friends with Morty.
That may be.
And everyone else was like, oh my god, no, ew.
That was a
The
scene
skull.
in the game with her friends.
Yeah.
Where we had a giant Morty skull, a giant skull with eyeballs in it. We glued in.
It
so
wasn't giant
Morty
in
from
the beginning.
Planescape Torment.
It wasn't giant in the beginning.
No, it grew to be giant.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Evie, how do you think your dad talked to his friends when he was your age? Please imitate.
What kind of question is that, Sean? All right, go for it.
Hey dude, you wanna go play some third edition Dungeons and Dragons, man? Let's go to the basement of my house, get some pizza, walk to the Wawa nearby. Yeah, man, I'm done.
All right, so first off, not to burst your bubble here too much, but
That's pretty great.
no, you're really off, because let's go through the reasons why you're really, really off. The first reason is 3rd edition D&D didn't come out until 2000. So when I was your age, it was 1992, and I was playing 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, I was probably playing basic red box D&D out of
Same thing.
Second reason, there wasn't a Wawa we could walk to where I lived in Levittown. We could walk to the 7-Eleven and get Slurpees.
Oh yeah.
And the most important reason, I was a soprano until I was in the 8th grade, okay? So I could hit all the high notes, so I was a soprano until the 8th grade.
I'm in 8th grade, so maybe we were on a soprano.
I had a higher voice than yours.
Well, yeah, I expected that you were the pirate king.
I was a bass by then. All right, that was a year, 2 years later.
How did you go from...
Next question. And yes, Greg, the memer or mimer, yeah, that was the from Torment. That's the Morty skull we've made. Even though I've sold all my Planescape stuff. What's the question?
Turns out I won't be going to Gary Con either.
Aw.
I learned the
We
hard
won't be
way
there, but
that
it's a
you
good
need to
con.
book a room early.
Yes.
Apparently 5 months in advance is too late. When do you recommend getting reservations set for going to Gen Con?
To Gen Con or Gary Con? I can answer
said
both.
Gen Con.
Well, I will say for Gary Con, you keep an eye out. Even if you can't be in the building proper, there are some surrounding resorts or hotels you can get into. That said, for Gen Con, so there's going to be everything's done through a lottery system through Gen Con itself for room reservations. I would suggest that you take a look right now. If you want to stay downtown, you take a look right now for if there's any room availability anywhere and grab a hotel room just to have something as a backup if you can find one. Otherwise, you're waiting until the lottery. Our first convention, and that's going to be, you're going to be looking, that happens, I don't know, like in February or March, I think. Jen, when's the Gen Con housing lottery?
I thought it was January.
She thinks it's January.
You're right.
That was close.
Very close. Close enough.
But good luck with that. It's definitely a challenging and trying time. We've stayed downtown the last 3 years in a row. We really enjoyed it, but I really enjoyed staying. Anytime I've gone, even when we were off-site. So we are 7th Gen Con
This is
coming up.
only a question. Not my 7th.
My 7th. Your 5th. All right, next question. Saturday Night PAX by Greg Schwarzkopf.
This is not a question.
It's like, well, read it.
Here's...
A friend of mine from our New Jersey game.
That is New Jersey, right?
Yes.
New Jersey gaming group is a big fan of Savage Worlds and may want to participate with the Delaware Valley Savages.
Woo!
I'll give him his email. Nice sleight of hand, by the way. Next time use cards of different colors.
Do you have the cards still?
No, they're away.
Mean.
I was in the Society of American Magicians
That's really
when I
cool.
was a teenager so long ago.
That's really cool, Greg. Yeah, tell your friend to email us at delvalsavages@gmail.com.
Hashtag Delval Salad.
DELVAL savages@gmail.com,
Delval.
and we'll get him some information for the game. And Evie needs to work on her card skills.
I'm great at them.
These are great questions. If you want to continue sending questions to the show, it's dccjudgeevie@gmail.com. I don't know why we just have it be like living for crits at gmail.com, but because it's Judge Evie presides, that's why she gets all the questions and gets to read them funny voices. So with that, let's make Judge Evie's DCC Lankhmar character. Woo! All right, so we discussed Judge Evie's first taste of Lankhmar. What if you are looking to get into Lankhmar all? If you can find a copy of the graphic novel, it's great, or the graphic novel size stuff.
Wait, is this based on this?
This is based on the books, the short stories by Fritz Lieber.
Oh.
Lieber, I can't remember how to pronounce it. But the short stories, I have the first 3 books of short stories, and Swords and Deviltry, I believe, is the first of the books, book 1, and Ilmet and Lankhmar, I believe, was the first story I read. I think there's a couple origin stories in there I read. Maybe I read those first, and then I read Ilmet and Lankhmar. It's not written it's written in chronological order of when the stories took place, not when they were written. Because I know that Lieber wrote them all out of order, but sort of like in a serial version, kind of like the Conan stories, which I've read a ton of the Robert E. Howard Conan stories as well. Which are both of these are OSR type reading, appendix and literature. If any interest in delving more into appendix and literature and hearing more and discovering more of that, I do have to recommend our friend Bob and Jen Brinkman's podcast, which I don't know what you're doing with your head, which is Sanctum Secorum. All right, so without further ado, if you're going to make a DCC Lankhmar character, you need a few things. First off, you need a Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game core book. you need a DCC Lankhmar box set. And out of said box set, you need the Compendium of Secret Knowledge. This is a different experience than making a regular DCC character for a couple reasons. First off, we're making a character at first level, okay? Actually, why don't we do this? While I read this part, why don't you roll 3d6 in order down this line here, okay?
1d6.
Or you have 3d6.
Save against fear. This is a weird dice one. This is from Dark Tricks.
All right, why don't you roll these 6 stats, and I will discuss the difference between 0 and third. How about you roll it over there, so it's not on 5, 5, and 3. It's 13. That's pretty good.
This place is terrible.
Roll them up here. Big difference you're going to see is we're making a first level character, not a 0 level character. Not a whole bunch of 0 level characters, at least, because in DCC Lankhmar you start at first level. It's not a game where it's a bit more heroic. It's not like a bunch of street rats running into the dungeon who are going to get totally murdered. Wow, that's fantastic! Holy crap! These characters are hardy. A bit hardier than your typical D&D DCC character. And they're the kinds of characters that are going off on an adventure and experience the thrills of the I don't know, a pulpy universe.
Man,
that is a terrible luck. Wow, that's a really good intelligence.
of course intelligence has to be good.
Well, we can talk about this in a second, okay?
It's not useful.
So, well, hold on. I can fix this for you in a second, okay? Or you can fix this for you. All right. The other thing is that you don't start a game of DCC Lankhmar in a funnel. You start it in what's called a meet. And a meet is sort of an in media res, so in the middle of the adventure scene where all the characters are thrown together without having known each other first. And you essentially create the point where they all are introduced without it being just, we all met in a bar kind of sequence.
We all met in a bar!
All right, so your stats off the bat, why don't you read off what you have rolled so far?
I have a 13, an 11, a 16.
No, but what are the stats in? So read what stat it is and then what it is.
I have a 13 strength, I have an 11 agility, I have a 16 stamina, I have an 8 personality, a 7 luck, and a 14 intelligence.
Which of those are you not happy about?
Luck frickin' sucks.
All right, I'm very proud of you, the fact that you realize that luck is so poor there. So you have a choice. The first thing to do that's different in DCC Lankhmar is once you've rolled your character, as she has done, we need to figure out, off the bat, you can swap 2 of your scores. So this is a really good character. So first off, to have 3d6 in order and have stats that good is fantastic.
Except for these crap.
So yeah, that's true, but like, you get to swap 2 scores. So if you want, if you're not interested in, because it looks like you're gonna be a good warrior, it looks like to me. So would you maybe, what do you care about more, luck or intelligence?
Why would I care about intelligence?
So why don't you swap your luck and intelligence?
Oh, I can do that?
Yes, in DCC Lankhmar, to help tailor a character more towards what you want to play, you can swap your 2 stats, okay? Only one time, though, all right? So now that you've got that, we have these character sheets, which we've downloaded, I think, off of the Sanctum Secorum page, but they are DCC Lankhmar character sheets. We got off Drive-Thru-RPG. We have a warrior sheet. There is your warrior sheet. So why don't you put your stats in order with the modifiers there next to them. So a 13 strength, an 11 agility, a 16 stamina means you'll be pretty tough. Your hit points going to be great, maybe. The 8 personality, 14 luck, and a 7 intelligence. You know what your modifiers are? So +1, +2.
Basically,
you got it?
know what I'm doing.
Okay. All right, let's do your birth augur. Now, nothing in birth augur has really changed. If you don't know how to do a DCC character, in general, birth augur is something that links your starting luck attribute to one ability that you have, one stat.
Wait.
What?
What's a 7 again?
A 7's -1.
Okay.
The 8 is -1. What do you? Yeah, 7's. The 7's
I didn't know what
-1.
the -1s were. Okay.
This is Judge Evie. She knows all the
Shut up.
rules. What'd you say?
Shut up.
All right, let's roll your birth augur. Get a D30 out. if depending on what she gets, there are a couple birth augurs that don't make sense, and you can just re-roll them if they don't fit your character. Like pack hunter doesn't make sense in a urban campaign.
Oh my god, it's my like lucky number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? This isn't really. There is no magical healing in this game, so just re-roll it. As it says, that's funny. She rolled survive the plague, and it says here, survive the plague will not apply to this campaign and should be re-rolled. Re-roll survive the plague. What'd you get?
23.
23. Charmed house. Holy crap! Armor class. So under here, under birth augur, write charmed house. And wow, a +1 ace. This character's really good off the bat. So your armor class right now is an 11. Without any armor at the moment. Which you're going to need because you have a really crappy agility. Not really crappy, even an 11 agility. It's not crappy. I should be careful how I say that. That comes across as being very, Pathfinder, DCC 5e-ish, or D&D 5e-ish if I say 11's crappy. Alright, you've got your birth augur. So you have you live under the charmed house. Now we need to determine your place of origin.
Snazzy.
So page 4, place of origin. Essentially, you roll a d8, and you're going to find out where in the Lankhmar universe, the world of Nawan, you are from. So this can be chosen if your player really wants to pick this, but for our purposes today, let's just roll this. So grab a d8.
Model my D8 here.
That's a very cool D8.
Pink and blue.
Roll it up. 7. You are from the Eastern Lands. So you would write up here, place of origin, the Eastern Lands.
Eastern.
Alright, so Judge Evie's character is from the furthest eastern part of the world, is an exotic character, someone who has made some distinctive appearances, and he stands out a bit here in the city of Lankhmar where we're starting. So now we get to Benisons and Dooms. This is probably the one thing that is very different mechanically for starting characters. So first off, you'll notice that we talked about her playing a warrior. The other two options, if you're playing like in a literary version of Lankhmar, which we are, is there's 3 classes only to choose from. There's warriors, there's wizards, and there's thieves. So won't that get boring with only 3 character classes?
No.
It won't, because of Benisons and Dooms. And Benisons and Dooms are like kind of super powered hindrances and edges from Savage Worlds. There are ways to modify the character to make them interesting and unique. So the Eastern Lands gets you're going to get a Benison and a Doom. I believe this is modified by your luck score, so you're going to add a 1 to this roll. Okay, so you get a d20, and you're going to roll 1 random Benison and 1 random Doom. So you get a d20 out. She's going to roll this, and she's going to add 1. 21. Marshal Training. So, which I don't know if you can have that as a warrior. We're going to look. Let's see here. Marshal Training. The character is trained in one particular weapon. Type of weapon is a long sword, short bow, dagger. When using this weapon, he gains a +D bonus to his deed die if a warrior. That's freaking amazing. This character is really turning out well. All right, so under Benison, write Marshal Training, and you need to pick a weapon. What weapon do you want to have it be?
What's a good weapon?
Well, I mean, do you want to fight with a one-handed weapon or a two-handed weapon? Like, you want the shield?
I want a one-handed weapon. Two-handed weapons are overrated.
So do you want to go with a longsword?
Yeah.
Okay, so Marshal Training longsword. Hectophonic, Hector, the missile cruise here, since he loves how this process creates a backstory for your character, it's a great springboard for role-playing and motivations for your PC. Yeah, this is, I mean, off the bat, we're getting a much more fleshed out character. This is a character who has spent his or her entire time, almost just training in the longsword, almost like a martial arts style montage. You have trained in the sword for so long. Yeah, that's pretty cool. In fact, you're gonna need. We'll get to this in a second.
In the house.
Under the charmed house, yes.
Yeah, I trained in the house.
All right, I'm from the Eastern Lands. I'm getting a very strong Mulan theme here, here. All right, dooms. This is the bad part. So a doom, this is a negative for your character or a role-playing note. So roll a d20, and for a doom, you're going to subtract 1.
9.
All right, in debt. So write down
I'm
in
always poor.
Debt. Well, this character's
I'm poor in every single
This
game.
character's poor. All right, and you need to roll 3d6. So Judge Evie's character is in debt to a vicious moneylender in Lankhmar. Roll 3d6. You owe 6, 7, 900 gold Rilks. That's rough. To a shady moneylender and is behind on your payments. The loan shark has decided to collect any way he can, resulting in you having regular run-ins with moneylender goons.
Yay.
And he's well defended, so killing him isn't a convenient way. So right now, you have a Benison and a Doom. This is where things get fun. Alright, are you comfortable with one Benison or Doom, or would you like to try to take on another Benison? And here's how this works. You have a luck of 14, correct?
Yes.
You can opt to take another Benison. As if you have the book, you'll see that every Benison has a luck value. You could spend points of luck, permanent points of luck, to have another Benison. So what do you think? So you could have some goods stored somewhere. You could have a trusted contact. When it's well healed. Well healed. Your starting funds are increased 100%. Judge Sean's on. What's up? Oh, we read his comments earlier. Do you want to spend any permanent luck, or do you want to keep that and figure you rolled well, you're going to let it go?
No, I'm going to keep my great martial arts training.
Cool. Well, I mean, you would have kept that anyway, but you could have had another Benison as well on top of that. But you would have had to roll another random Doom.
And that would have been bad.
Okay. So
I'm already, poor.
We're going to opt out of that. No extra Dooms. Okay? Okay. All right, so we've got a character here so far who is pretty cool, has martial training, but is in debt. We know that you are from the Eastern Lands. We have your Benisons and Dooms. So, the game does have an option for alignment, but, this is a place where this game kind of shifts. You don't have to have alignment in DCC Lankhmar, okay? And I'm not going to push for it. So look at that.
Should I?
No, we're not going to have it.
Then why am I right there?
Where?
Is it even on here?
Nope, not even on there.
Oh.
So we're not going to have alignment in this game. What are you writing?
Level 1.
Oh, you wrote level 2.
I wrote level 1.
Oh, I wrote level 2. I'm like, you cheating.
Ones are written like this.
The next option is to roll her Naywanian languages. Okay, so, Judge Evie, what is your intelligence?
My intelligence is a 7.
That's great. Alright, so almost all characters know the pidgin version of Low Lankhmarese, which is the common trade language of Naywan. They also know the language native to their place of origin. Alright, so you can speak, let's see here, characters number 5, Alright, so you get 2 languages and that's it, okay? So under languages, you're going to write down Low Lankhmarese. And you speak... Let's see here. A language from your native place. So, from the Eastern Lands... I don't know, what's going to be Eastern Lands language?
The Eastern
Characters from the Eastern Lands must choose one of these 2 languages. Okay. So you get to pick Desert Talk, or Horberixic.
Horberixic.
Horborixik.
Yeah, it sounds cooler.
I'm guessing this is less like Far East, and this is more like, like Middle Eastern in some ways of how that is. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to read the books again. And look at that. Sean saying, good riddance to alignment. Yes.
Yeah.
Gone. If she had played a thief, you get to pick which of those routes you take for your thief skills. You can pick a thief that would have the skills of a lawful thief, neutral thief, or chaotic thief. The way the book here calls it for thieves, let me actually get to that point, is that thieves... Why are we not getting there? Where's the stuff for thieves?
I don't know.
Thieves would pick to have... I'm missing it here. Anyway, yeah, I mean that's it.
It says thieves right there.
Well, I see that, but you would pick skill wise to take whatever
Wait a second.
What?
That's the guy from the thing.
The Grey Mouser, yeah, he's in there. Okay. So the next thing we have to worry about for a character for Lankhmar, DCC Lankhmar is we've done Benisons and Dooms, we've done class, alignment, language. Roll once on the intriguing item table. That's cool.
Whoa.
This is going to be a piece of item you get here, so this would go under
Equipment.
notes maybe.
Oh,
You pick
yeah.
where. Roll a D100. We won't do all gear and equipment. That would take too long.
Wait, I forgot to find it here.
So D, yeah, and
Can I just roll twice?
sure.
26.
You have a decorative chamber pot. You know what that is?
No. How
That's
do you
a-
spell decorative again? I'm like blanking out.
Decorative. Decorative chamber pot. It's a pot you pee in.
Ew.
You have a decorative pea pot. All right. The other thing you're going to need is,
There we go.
as a class modification, is you need to make a note that your lucky weapon's a longsword, and you need to name it. In Warriors in Lankhmar,
Notes?
yeah, under lucky weapon,
Oh.
put it's longsword, and you need to name your longsword. A warrior with a positive luck modifier to his lucky weapon must name the weapon in order to receive the benefit. Thus, Faffer would not enjoy his lucky weapon modifier if he simply grabbed any sword from a rack. He'd have to have Grey Wind, or name the weapon Grey Wind, or Grey Wand. I'm sorry. You can name replacement weapons the same as the original armament and receive the lucky weapon bonus. The name need not be unique. So, what did you name your weapon?
Genevieve.
Genevieve the longsword?
Yeah.
Judge Sean, Crawlzine, number 6, doing Thieves My Way, skills regardless of alignment. It's a good system.
What's wrong with my name?
No, it's a good name. Genevieve sounds just like a glorious sword of valor. Okay.
Isn't that what you think of too? It's like, Genevieve.
Now, your character
sword.
gets no advantage of being unarmored because it really requires you to have a high agility, which you don't have.
Yes, I do.
You don't. So the next thing would be, you don't want any spells. The next thing is going to be money, which we're not going to do all of this part, but get some dice out for rolling your money. Your starting money,
Poor.
which is page 70. Starting money for a warrior is 5d12 gold pieces.
I have to get another thing out. 1,
So that's what?
8.
8 plus...
That's 13.
Yep.
21.
31. How did you drop a die in there?
Wait a second, wait.
31 plus... Did you find it?
Yeah, I don't know what I landed on.
Roll it again.
Oh my god.
39. So
I
you have
hate that number.
So you have 39 gold Rilks.
I owe 900 of them?
Well, you have 39 to start, and just buying a longsword and armor is going to cost you a good penny here. So that'll be great. You're going to be starting off needing some money, like big time. But we'll get to that. We'll do that afterwards, after the show. And finally, I think this character needs hit points, so you need a D12 and a D4.
Let's get another dice out.
Yeah.
This is...
So in DCC Lankhmar, even though it's not a 0-level funnel, you still get that D4 bonus die plus your stamina. So since Judge Evie's character has a stamina of 16, she's going to get 4 bonus hit points to start. With her luck, though, she's going to roll a 1 and a 2 on her D4 and her D12.
Where's my rainbow die,
So
guys?
roll the D4 first. Let's see what this comes up as.
Is it this plus 4?
That plus 2 to start.
6.
That's 6. Great. And now you roll your D12. 6 plus 11. Holy crap. So it's going to be 11 plus 4 is 15, 19 hit points to start.
That's good, right?
That's amazing. This is like the best soldier, best warrior of all time. Oh my gosh, this is cheating.
These doesn't roll bad, and I almost rolled 12.
All right. Oh, you should make a note next to your longsword is plus 1d. It's plus 1d die. So let's name your character. And I told her before we started that she was going to use the random Nawanian name chart. So the Eastern lands. Go ahead and roll a d20 for your name.
I'm scared. 3.
3. Your name is Muman.
That's terrible.
You want to roll one more time?
Muman?
Want to roll it again?
Can I pick between the two? Roll again?
Yeah, roll one more.
2.
Simina.
These are crappy.
These are the names, Muman or Simina. You gotta pick.
But they're so bad.
You know what? We can let the people in the audience pick.
Yeah, you guys pick.
Do you want her to be Muman, Mumman, or Simina, Symeena? Who's gonna toss something out
and
here?
Genevieve.
So what we do know is this about either Muman or Genevieve. We do know.
Or Genevieve. Genevieve is my longsword.
Oh, I'm sorry. Or Simina.
Right.
We know that off the bat, if she starts out, if she can purchase a shield and some leather armor, her AC is going to be like a 14 with 19 hit points.
How about Mumania?
And she's going to attack with a D20. I'm sorry, a D24 for her longsword. You know what's a good question, though? I'm not a D24. I'm sorry, a plus 1D to her deed die. So her deed die is going to be a plus 1 higher. So it'll be a D4 instead of a D3 for your deed die with your longsword.
There, I put them together.
Mumania?
Yeah.
Mumania.
Mumania. Mumania with Genevieve.
We had some votes, though. Scott said Simina. Sean said Mumina. And Hectophonic said Muman. But you're in with Mumania.
Mumania.
Mumania. Okay. Mumania and Genevieve. All right. Well, I think
duo.
I think we're done for today on the character. So that was a good run through on how to make a cool character. Your character is an awesome swordswoman.
That's what I look like, guys.
Show your stats off again. These stats, 13, 11, 16, 8, 14, 7. The fact that she made her intelligence a dump stat makes me feel like I haven't failed as a father.
Wait.
Idiot.
You have to incorporate the 8th grade things.
What?
How do you incorporate this?
I don't know how we incorporate 8th grade things.
do
Here we
this?
go. Ready? When I was in 8th grade, I was a soprano. All right.
That's radical. I'm a tenor.
Well, I think we're good here. If anyone else has any comments or feedback about Lankhmar characters, we'd love to hear it. Either leave a comment now as before we're wrapping up, leave a comment below if it's on YouTube, or again, email us at dccjudgeevie at gmail.com. I think we're going to wrap things up here now, okay? What are you laughing about? What did you do? What did you do? All right, so crazy for cows.
That's what they put.
She'll wait till we have the conversation of this being a more serious campaign and make her change her name. She'll love that part. Yeah, you need to like make that name a bit more normal, I think, now.
They told me to.
Yeah, but you can't listen to them.
You told me to.
Not all the time.
What do you mean don't listen to Scott? Savage Scott W knows exactly what he's talking about. As Mumania.
All right, so for Road Crew shoutouts, as you said earlier, Sean mentioned it was D6 games in, where was it, Minnesota? Rochester, Minnesota.
Yes,
every Monday night. So get there for their...
At 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. PAX Unplugged is coming up in a little under 2 months, and that will be, I'm sorry, a month. It's a month to go.
Yeah.
And we'll be there at Savage Saturday night. Plus, there will be some off-the-books DCC Lankhmar action for sure on Sunday, late morning. So I'll be looking for some players for that. And then where to find us elsewhere is at I Live for Crits on Twitter and Living for Crits on Instagram. And you can search for Living for Crits on YouTube. We are currently at 49 followers here on
Guess
Twitch.
what we just hit on Instagram?
What's that?
100.
We are at 903 subscribers on YouTube.
Wait, let me
Gotta
see
get
what
those
we
numbers
actually
up.
are
So
at.
if you're enjoying us, make sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing,
what we're at on Instagram,
sharing,
guys.
all that good stuff. Okay, get the word out there that we are online. We'll be back next week.
100.
It'll be after the first game. We might do a follow-up, wrap-up to DCC Lankhmar a little bit, and talk about that a bit more, about how things went in our game. And time for the outro ASMR. And all I'm going to say is, Rest Milo lives.
Okay, I got something.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, they'll love this. Shut up, Scott. You're so mean.
Want to try again?
Okay, I got it. Mumania, crazy for cows.
Good night, everybody.